Hey guys, JH, welcome to the putting green. We've got Mr. X on the camera today. Just going to hear while we've got the putting green clear. Just want to talk about channel lock putting, guys. Now, if you're going to have a channel lock swing, you can have channel lock putting. Now, the principles of channel lock putting are the same as channel lock golf swing, in that if you are right eye dominant, and if you're a right-handed person, 98% of people will be, play the ball off the trail foot, get this configuration where we have that angle there, we have this here in a straight line with the shaft, and then we have the closed shoulder. Now the advantage of having the closed shoulder, guys, now normally in putting you'll see most people, they'll set up and they'll have an open lead shoulder. We don't want an open lead shoulder. We want a closed lead shoulder, because what that does is it stabilizes the hips and the shoulders and the upper arm and the lower arm. By having that lead shoulder forward, everything gets stabilized. When it's open like that, this arm is flapping around and there's no stabilization. As soon as I go into that configuration there, this whole side here is stabilized, and you don't realize until you get that level of stabilization how much you do flop around when you putt the ball because of a conventional golf swing. We don't realize how much. Okay, the good players don't do it very much, but when you're here and you've locked this down and you've loaded all that weight into that trail foot, I promise you feel like a buttress, like you can't get pushed over. You will not get pushed over when you do that. So the basic principle is, guys, we've got the ball here. I'm right eye dominant, so I want to play it off my trail foot. I want to have this configuration here. Why do I want to have that configuration there? Because that's a locker, guys. That's a locked hinge. There's no movement on that. That is a totally locked hinge. When that's there like that, that's a buttress here. And by having this arm in here like that, we've got the rod pushing it, we've got the stabilized rod pushing it, and we've got this locked out hinge stabilizing it. And guys, when we set up, we just get in here like we do in channel lock. We load into that trail side. I'm setting in here, I'm pushing that lead shoulder forward. I've got the 5 o'clock nose here, and I'm trying to hit the ball into out. Now you'll have to work your aim out, guys. We're going to hit the ball into out because you'll hit a little push putt. But that's just practice. You work that out on the golf course. But if you can set up with your closed shoulders, lock down front hinge, and the stabilized trail side, and get that club moving into out, you'll get it moving into out all the time, which is what we want to do in putting. And we'll have it moving into out exactly the same amount because the ball will be in the same position. I'll just hit one. Just stay on the stroke. So here I am, guys. I've got this stabilization here. The shoulder's closed, 5 o'clock nose. Nothing moves, nothing can break down. It's basically the putter doing this. It's basically and guys, don't have any shaft lean on the putter. You know, well, good putters don't have, but a lot of the club players get shaft lean. Even when they're putting, they have shaft lean like that. Now, as soon as you lean the shaft forward, you're opening the face most of the time, so you'll have to make a compensation and shut the face down. So don't do that. Try and have the shaft as we do in channel lock. We have it as perpendicular as we possibly can. And that is, when we set it here. Even a little bit Zach Johnson-ish, where Zach looks like he's got the shaft leaning back, but he's actually just perpendicular. So I'll just hit one here. So here we are, we're just leaning in here, closed shoulders, that's here, and we're just going to push into out. And that's in the hole. So, the good thing is, guys, you can term it then cradle to the grave. You can take everything. Your whole game is from putting right through to driving. It's exactly the same principle. It's stabilizing everything off the trail leg. So here we are. Can you see that straight on? You just have to move over there a little bit because I want to get on that hole. So here we're loading into that trail side. Here, closed shoulder. And there's another one. Because, guys, nothing can go wrong. What can go wrong with that? There's virtually nothing can go wrong with that. But there's a lot that can go wrong when you're here. You've got, all types of weight placement and distribution. We've got, potential to do this or that, to change these angles here. But when you close that lead shoulder and you stick that lead arm and that wrist in that configuration, guys, you ain't moving anything. Yeah, closed shoulder here. Everything there is into out. Now guys, it's pretty hard on the green here because the green's under maintenance and it's been scarified and it's as bumpy as a corrugated roof. So it's pretty tough from that point of view. And the green's getting a lot of people on it at the moment. So I'll just go through that process again in terms of the principle. Okay, we want this locked out, as we do with channel lock. With channel lock, we're here. That's where we want to be with our putting. We want a load trail. We want a trail load. Shoulder is closed. Now the advantage of having the closed shoulder, guys, is it will immediately route the putter inside on the backswing. And if you keep it there, it'll route the putter into out on the attack to the ball. So we set it up here, turn it here. So I'm basically here, guys. This is unloaded, that side, but I've got tremendous stability down the trail side, which is where I'm hitting from. I'm not hitting forward of centre, so I don't need any stabilisation there. I only need the stabilisation on the trail side here. See, that's basically unloaded here. That's all it is. Just going to be here. Look at the blade, guys. Watch the blade. Look at the face of the blade. The blade is doing this. See the face of the blade? There's no rolling. There's no lead side rolling, anything like that. Okay guys, it's getting really noisy here now. Okay, but that's the basic principle of channel lock putting. I'll do something a little bit more in depth maybe tomorrow when the green is clear and I'll actually hit some putts because the grass might have grown a little bit. It's very, very corrugated right now. Okay guys.